Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan. Once again, today we're doing another Witchblade episode. Today we're looking at issue number 8. The same team as always. We have Bennett and Cafaro as the main team, Priyanta as the colorist, and Pateri as the letterer. And this is a pretty good issue. It opens up in New York City in a place called The Keep, where we see that Sara is dealing with the truth. She is not the Witchblade bearer. She is an accident. She is a aberration, I guess. She is something that should have not been. And this really, makes her upset and sad because I guess even though she didn't really appreciate the loss of control, she appreciated the kind of metaphysical aspect of it. The fact that she was chosen in some way, that she was given this power, that she could use this power for good and for her personal reasons. And the way that it just makes her feel, even though it is kind of like degrading in the sense that she loses agency, it also makes her feel awesome, right? And the realization that all of this is the byproduct of a mistake instead of the byproduct of a correct answer, you could call it, probably is very sad and very disheartening, right? And so we see that Sara and Ian are training because there's nothing else to do, basically. And as they're doing this, Sara explains to us, she and the Witchblade are out of sync. And I don't necessarily think that they're out of sync because the Witchblade now realizes that she's an aberration. I think that the Witchblade did choose her, but Sara has lost confidence in herself due to this realization or to the truth being told to her by Kenneth Irons. And when she loses confidence, she and the Witchblade can't connect properly or whatever, or there's a subconscious barrier, and that's what's causing them to be out of sync. I don't think it's actually the fact that the Witchblade picked her wrong. I think the Witchblade picked her right, and it was for a reason. We just don't know what the reason is, right? But Sara not being happy with her situation or not being confident anymore is the issue, right? And she's kind of going insane about this. She's very, very upset. Eventually, Sara does come back to her social friends, right? To her group of people, Michael and the other girl, I can't remember her name. He texts her. He manages to get her to come to Christmas at his house. And when she's there, he argues with her. He tells her, why are you always with this Ian guy? Is it drugs? Are you doing something bad? Are you in over your head? Is there a problem? And she kind of blows him off. And then she talks about the fact that she's, dealing with her dad's stuff and that she's looking for more information. And this obsession is getting too bad. And Michael tries to tell her, hey, you're a loose cannon. You're problematic. You're putting us in danger. If you're going to continue to do that, then don't come around anymore. And so she leaves. And this is really sad because she's isolating herself without anyone telling her to do so. She's not being manipulated into it by a bad boyfriend or anything. She's just in such a bad headspace that she's doing the isolation in order to minimize the contact of other people, in order to minimize contradictions, right? To kind of assert herself. And this is bad. She comes back to the Keep. She realizes that she fucked up and she needs comfort. And Ian is there for her. He is her rock. And she kind of explains this to him. And Ian tells her, maybe I shouldn't be. How do you know that I'm good for you, right? And it's really weird because the whole thing in the last couple issues has been that Ian wants to be there for her. And now that he's like, but maybe I'm not good for you. So which one is it, man? It's really odd. And I understand the point of it. I think that it's about trying to assert that she doesn't need anyone else. She is herself. She has herself. And with the Witchblade, that makes her powerful and able to deal with everything. Ian is a broken man himself. And so he's not really what should be a rock for her. He should be a tool, right? In this concept, in this context that these characters live in, right? And it's really interesting. I quite enjoy this development between them, but it's just kind of I don't know. It's a bit too highbrow because it's not really explained to us directly. It feels like a lot of inference, and that's not necessarily what I think is the correct way to do comic books, right? And so they comfort each other via sex, and they have this really awesome 2-page spread that's about them fucking, and it's really good. I actually really like the art style here. I think Kafar does a great job with it. Later, we transition away from this, and they're at the precinct. Sara is looking into Jackie Estacado, who is the darkness, and Joe Siri shows up, and he's like, hey, what the hell are you doing? You know, he gives her some information about this. He talks to her to go talk to an informant, and as she's about to go by herself, Siri is like, hey, I know you're bullshit. I'm gonna go with you because I don't trust that you're gonna do this correctly, right? And so they go together. They're at the Bronx Zoo, or they're walking through the Bronx Zoo, as we see that Jackie is already there, and he's talking to the informant, and he's holding him by the legs over the bear enclosure, and he drops him in because this guy was abusing women. And apparently this is something Jackie does not appreciate at all, right? And so this makes Jackie come off like sort of a good guy, but he's also kind of shitty, so, you know, it's kind of hard to really decide what you feel about him. But he drops the person into the bear enclosure, and the bears kill him. And Sara and Joe Siri run into him, and Jackie and Sara meet, and they know that they are an embodiment, right? That they are someone special. And so we see this really awesome spread of Sara with all of the Witchblade, gold and orange, like beautiful, kind of majestic, magical alien animal things. And then we see the darkness in this really awesome green color that looks like just perverted, evil kind of animals, right? And they're mostly like snake type animals. It looks almost like like snakes, like worms, like you know, decay and death, whereas the Witchblade is like life to a crazy extent, and it's really cool. I don't know the lore about this. I think there is some sort of like underlying Christian kind of lore to these things, but it looks really cool, right? So the darkness would be the snake, and the Witchblade is like Eve or whatever, something like that. And it's really, really cool. It's a very majestic nature versus perverse death, right? And it's really, really awesome. So they have this standoff. They point guns at each other, and then the issue ends there. And it's really, really great. There's a lot of back matter here, some covers, some final spread, you know, stuff. And overall, the issue was awesome. I really, really liked it. I think this has been kind of the most interesting because we're finally getting to the character, right? A lot of it in the earlier issues was about kind of expositing or showing us what the Witchblade is and how it affects Sara. At this point, we know that. So Sara is now the main focus, right? And as we go forward, I hope that that remains. And I'm really curious to see how this battle between Sara and Jackie happens, right? So very excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next video.